Sadly, it's part of recreational sports, activities, even everyday life. Awareness around concussions has never been greater, but there's still many unknowns. Tonight, the leading minds and voices brought their work center stage to share what we're now learning about what's been called the silent epidemic.
This has got to be of real concern to hockey fans.
If you can take us back to that hit from Scott Stevens across the ice in the playoffs, when he came to, what was it like?
Well, there's a lot that goes on in your head, and you know it's your last game that of that year, of that season. There's a great deal of frustration.
First 8.5 minutes of this period.
NHL Hall of Fame inductee Eric Lindros admits after multiple concussions,
Lindros looked down for the puck.
He was never the same player on the ice.
I had a huge fear of cutting through the middle of the ice, and I could still contribute a bit, but I wasn't the way that I used to be when I was in Philadelphia.
I think hockey's a beautiful game, and
now a champion for research, the Big E says it wasn't how many concussions he had, but the severity. Tonight, almost everyone who packed the Winter Garden Theatre for a free public talk dubbed Bruising Your Brain had a story to tell.
When I started having these symptoms, I was having balance problems.
The last concussion that I got was 2 years ago, and that's been the most prolonged symptoms that I've ever had.
What kind of research is happening? What can we do? We feel helpless.
Pretend there's a little soccer ball in front of you and give it a kick.
Speaking this evening, Dr. Roger Zemek, an emergency physician at Ottawa's Children's Hospital, has been leading years of research, which can now identify patients who may be high risk for prolonged concussion symptoms. Among the several factors, his findings show that older teens and girls are at risk of having extended post-concussion syndrome.
Doctors like myself can maybe have some better guidance that is based on evidence to tell parents on what to anticipate, and that will be very helpful in parents in knowing what to expect.
There are 30,000 concussions every year in Ontario. Here in Toronto, the GTHL has a mandate to be contact-free league-wide, no matter your age, for anyone playing A-division hockey or lower. Checking is already out of Pee Wee hockey, and the numbers across the country are encouraging.
Huge impact in reducing the risk of concussion by over 5,000 concussions in Canada in one season alone in 11 and 12-year-old players, so a pretty significant impact.
There's also a new train of thought when it comes to teaching kids how to take a hit, especially on the football field, where non-helmet tackling drills at practice are being taught for the first time.
If it's implemented the right way with lots of repetition, we do think that it will help changing people's behavior.
Even with all the advancements, number 88 says this battle is far from over.
It's diagnosing it and then managing it, and if we can get people back quicker, not just in an athletic perspective, but you're going to school. Let's get the kids back in class as quick as we can. Let's get back to work as quick as we can.
So where do we go from here? Well, doctors say the next step is to reduce the length of long-term symptoms, especially for those who have been identified as high risk. They also need to refine treatment, which, as of now, still has very limited proven science behind it. At Moss Park, Adrian Gabriel, City News.